Hello everyone, this podcast is brought to you by the Chartered Institute of Building, aka CIOB, the world's largest and most influential professional body for construction management and leadership with around 50,000 members in more than 100 countries. Our members past and present have a hand in executing many groundbreaking construction projects around the world. From the Houses of Parliament in London and the Sydney Opera House, through to venues for the Beijing and London Olympics.
Charter membership provides you with the recognition of your ability, knowledge, and experience within the industry, creating more exciting career opportunities. Don't forget to become a student member for free today.
Welcome everyone to the Conversations with Construction Chronicles Emerging Exemplars series. I'm Daisy Wu, the podcast lead representing the student, graduate, and young professionals community within the Chartered Institute of Building Oceania chapter based in Victoria. And I'm glad to co-host this interview with my fellow committee member, Lilly Jen.
Hello everyone, my name is Lilly Jen, and I'm the marketing lead of the Victorian community.
Today we have the immense pleasure to be joined by Lilly Tangus, a Graduate Quantity Surveyor at WT Australia and New Zealand. An absolute powerhouse and high performer, Lilly was nominated by WT for the National Association of Women in Construction's Award for Excellence in the Student, Trainee and Apprentice category. We're therefore very delighted to have her here and take a glance into the growth trajectory of Lilly's.
So maybe now I'm probably bring up the special time which all of us are going through, which is the COVID-19. COVID-19 is one of the most popular topics we discussed in the recent 2 years, which is shining a light on our common humanity and shared vulnerabilities. During this special time, we all face the stress of changes and uncertainties. So Lilly, have you ever been under stress during the several lockdown periods, and how did you adjust your mindset?
Yes, I have. I've spoken about this on one of my podcasts. I've had several moments where it's stressful. If I could share a bit about it, was the uncertainty of it, especially being in and out. It was very unstable and very unpredictable as well, because you might plan something and then you have to change it. We had the NAWIC Award nights, I think, scheduled for February. I was ready, and I think as well as Daisy, you probably were nervous and feeling like, okay, I need to calm myself down. Tonight's the night, and then getting a message that, we're back in lockdown. It's not happening tonight. So then it feels like, okay, fine. But then I have to hold on to this feeling again for the next time. I booked a flight once to go see a friend, had to cancel that, and didn't know when I would see them again. And there's just like little moments like that where it's, okay, I can finally go out and visit people, or I could go out for a coffee, and then the next day you really can't. And that was very challenging. And even at work, where it's, okay, I'm back in the office, but then I have to now pack everything back down and then come back home. And then I might need to again go back home. So it was very unstable, and that was a bit stressful during the lockdown period. And now I think the other one that I will highlight, which is in relation to just being a student, working, and being a cadet especially, and still learning on the job, and working from home, being really isolated. It was not really having the support that you would from when you would have been in the office. That was really challenging, and having everything being piling up on top, and it just all feels like you were. I just felt like everything was just like all together at once, having to live in my house, work in my house, study in my house, entertain myself in my house. So there was just like in one space that was really frustrating, but also we shouldn't ignore that it is it was for good reasons that we were put in lockdown. How I changed my mindset, I think just over time, it became being adaptable and just being like, okay, this is what the situation is at the moment. So I need to be able to adapt to it. There's no certainty on when it's going to get back to normal, if we ever do. I think it's just being adaptable and coming to terms with this might be the norm. So I might as well just change my mindset to that. And also I think probably just worked around it, separated life. When I study, I face my table one way. When I'm working, I face my table another way. When I'm eating, I probably eat in a different direction. I feel like that was separating. It's very small and sounds a bit awkward, but that's something that helped as well with that. But yeah, definitely just being able to adapt, and that took a bit of time to be able to say, okay, this might be the reality. So
I believe, although the way suffer a lot longer this time, but we still this special time definitely help us and make us become more resilient. And I think one of the lessons we learn from this special time is that we need to enjoy the moment. Is that once, especially after once the restriction has been eased or lifted, we probably need to enjoy them all the moment, and then meet up with my friends, or even have more conversation with our coworkers, something like that. So it would definitely help us. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Thanks, Lily and Tilly, for openly and honestly covering lots of grounds for us to usher in the next question. So, Lily, you've certainly accomplished a lot, even with all of these in the backdrop. So, under such circumstances, how do you actually manage to harmonize independence and interdependence, especially in the corporate setting?
So, Lily, would you have any advice for these peoples? Maybe some tips to help to expand their networking or help with their communication skills?
Yes. Being an international student as well, I'm very passionate about being international, because I feel like as I said, I like sharing from personal journeys and personal experience. So I can only probably speak from being an international student and how that's worked best for me at this point. And the advice that I would give would be, I think, one that I've already said previously, is being open, being open-minded, and being willing to learn, and being willing to put yourself out there as well. I think it's really important to do that. Don't be afraid of working or reaching out to people with regards to probably potentially, getting work in your field or whatever that it may be in life in general. But being specific to students is, don't be afraid to reach out. And I know it's very cliche to say the worst that they could say is a no, but literally that is the worst that could happen, is getting a no. But reach out, be willing, be open-minded, and don't limit yourself to thinking that you're different, because I had that, and I thought, I'm not so sure if my difference is something that could be beneficial to a company, or it's something that someone wants, or it's something that potentially holds value. I feel like don't limit your difference. It definitely comes with, and regardless of or who you are or what you do, it really does just boil down to who you are as a person, and everything that you are has value. So don't limit yourself or think that you're different and that isn't necessarily not wanted. It is appreciated, and you should be willing to see the value in that.
Thank you for asking the question, Tilly, and Lily for covering a lot of ground about how you actually leverage your self-worth and self-image to deliver value, not only in the corporate space, but also the broader community, and introduce to your audience, just taking a glance into and leaning back on how you successfully leverage independence and interdependence in the current climate, as will continue to be in the near future. So thank you so much for that. In the diversity challenge world of construction, we know that there are numerous NPOs, such as the National Association of Women in Construction, NAWIC, that's based in Australia, which champions and empowers women in male-dominated industries such as ours to reach their highest potential. And in a similar vein, as tomorrow's leaders, Victoria, our focus is integral to supporting the budding exemplars of tomorrow via our junior community in the Child and Student Buildings Oceania chapter. So leaning onto our globally connected network, here we really want to seek to propagate the conversations like the one we're having right now to deliver an international perspective and lobby for the positive changes. So Lily, in the balance of this interview, we'd really love to hear about your perspectives on gender diversity and equity in today's environment, where there's still, unfortunately, some enormous gender gap as a persistent challenge, which can really hinder productivity gain and constrain various innovative opportunities and capacities. So Lily, we identify, yes, we introduced to the audience earlier, that you're nominated for the NAWIC Student Apprentice and Trainee Award in 2020. That was really a hallmark of your inspirational story and achievements. How do you think this accomplishment served to consolidate and expand your vision and career?
The NAWIC Awards for me personally was definitely an encouragement booster shot for myself, and in terms of continuing to pursue some of my goals and some of the things that I really want to achieve within my career journey. But the other thing that I really wanted to highlight was in terms of the diversity and NAWIC as well being a really big part of that, is I believe in representation. I am very I like to think that I am very not goal oriented, but I have lots of like visions and dreams and very image focused as well. So once I see something, then I feel like the possibility of getting to it is a lot higher. So I feel like having more women, which NAWIC does as well, but that's part of the role, is to encourage more women to participate, which I think is really something that should be, for myself personally, is the core of really bringing out that awareness and trying to bridge that gap. Because if someone sees that, so a lady can work at a construction site, then they too would have that, their mind would be open to that, as opposed to having just one a closed mindset. Pretty much just having that representation and encouraging participation for more females in the industry. I feel like it's really important in definitely bridging the gap for more years to come as well.
Although sometimes people still thinking about the construction industry as a male-predominant industry, who is the most admirable female leaders in our industry that you know of?
This is really hard to think about and pinpoint one, but I'll put it out there as a general answer to say any woman out there that works in the construction industry or and has chosen the path to do that, I think my I feel like that inspires me. It inspires me to see that there is people like myself that are trailblazing and are being a part of an industry that is considered to be male dominated. So yeah, I think every woman out there that works within the industry is very inspiring, and really opens my eyes to the possibility of, I too can do that, and encourages me as well to keep on going within my career and progressing.
Wow, what a well-considered and inspirational account of the legendary and visionary female leaders that you've met in the past, present, and as you will in the future. Thanks very much, Lilly. So, continuing from there, what do you envision to achieve in the continuing course of advancing and furthering our industry and the interest of women to join and triumph in construction and the development space?
In regards to my vision, it would be, one, to do the best that I can within my work, and within that continue to grow as well within the industry and within the industry. And as I mentioned, I think representation is really important. So if I'm able to work towards and being the best at what I'm currently doing, or doing the best that I can, so if I continue to do the best, to do my best at within my role and continue to grow as well, I believe that forms a basis for me to continue to grow and also just represent that and encourage other people. And I have a blog as well, I think I've mentioned that I use to encourage. It may not be specific to encouraging one particular gender, but it's really there as a representation, and to constantly encourage and to constantly inspire. So within the construction industry is definitely continue to do the best, to be my best, continue to grow in that aspect, inspiring others as well with my journey, and also being involved in NAWIC and also with you guys as well, and continuing to encourage female participation within the industry. But representation, I think, for me would be the backbone of it, and being the best at what I do.
So I believe that as a young QS, it's just at the starting point of your career. So what do you aspire for yourself and the future of the construction industry in the next 5 and 10 years here?
Just tying back to the previous answer is doing my best, being able to do my best, and definitely grow within the industry, and definitely inspire. I feel like I really would like to inspire, just with my own personal journey, inspiring one person to pursue their career or in construction would be amazing. But yeah, so in the next 5 to 10 years in the construction industry, definitely grow, be the best, do my best.
As you already are, shining on your trajectory of achieving more and becoming more, and carrying yourself as a beacon and inspiration to the others. And undoubtedly, Lilly, we believe that you're really in good hands as you really apply yourself to learning from the best, humbly and increasingly, and continuously just really expand your vision and resourcefulness. So definitely all of these have really stood together in one place and stood you in good stead. All right, thank you very much, Lilly, for bringing your energy and insights into this amazing episode. It's been really a delight to chat with you as a like-minded colleague and, more broadly speaking, a young, resourceful future leader as a sign of your innovation and dedication.
And so before we wrap up today's interview, could you please share a go-to quote that defines your attitude to getting where you are?
I don't have a quote, I have a word, hope. And don't ever lose hope. And always have hope. That is what defines me. That's what I live by. That's what makes me resilient. Hope and holding on to hope. Yeah.
That's also my quote as well. It's on my phone and it reminds me every day. That on my phone. When I scroll on my phone, it reminds me every day. That's amazing.
Yeah, very great, very great. On an account, I wish you all the best and nothing less, Lily, and to you too as well. Thanks for joining us on this episode, and we look forward to being in touch. Don't forget to become a Chartered Institute of Building student member for free today. Please follow the link. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks guys for having me. Thanks.